We got the vibe, fun and friendly all the time. Draft and play and feel the rise. Magic moments in our eyes.
Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic here, back doing a best of one Aetherdrift draft. Alright, we've got Mimeoplasm Revered one. It's a 0/0, enters, exile up to X creature cards from your graveyard, enters with 3+1/+1 counters on it for each creature card exiled this way, and then becomes a copy of target creature card exiled with it, except it's 0/0 and has this ability. I mean, that's not bad, but 3 color, I don't know if I want to go for that. Otherwise, we got Mythic here. Sacrifice 1 or more artifacts, choose a color, adds 3 mana for each artifact. Probably don't need that. Got a triple rare pack. This is insane. 4 mana 1/2. Each creature that's attacking one of your opponents has trample. You may put a creature or vehicle card from your hand onto the battlefield. If you put an artifact onto the battlefield this way, put 2+1/+1 counters on it. This one's pretty good. You can play a little top heavier deck, I think. Yeah, basically all your dudes have trample, and then you can cheat out creatures for 1 mana. I like that. I mean, I think that's worth it. It's a 4 mana 1/2, but that's, I mean, it's a pretty strong effect. This Gestalt Raider is great. Lets you look at your opponent's hand. I like that. Sorry, there were too many rares to sift through. I didn't have time to read them all. All right, so in green, we've got Bestow Greatness. I mean, it gives trample and it buffs. It's good. 3 mana is a little bit expensive, but that's okay. Surveyor. This is part of that cycle. It feels a little bit early to take it. What's this rare do? 2 mana 0/4, start your engines. You have no max hand size. If you would draw a card, draw 2 cards instead. Wow, that's a super strong effect. Wow. Yeah, that's really, really good. So we'll take that. This is whenever you discard 1 or more cards, put that many +1/+1 counters on this creature. I really want to make the cycling deck. I do think that's legit. I played 4 Doom Drifters in the last draft. I like it. I think it's pretty good. Country Roads, part of the cycle that, you know, spits out pilots. What else we got that's worth mentioning? Night Market, Cycle Land, that fixes, definitely good. More Surveyors, Oil Gorger, all pretty decent. We'll take the rare, feel good about it. Okay, so the pack now. We've seen this before. You can play from your graveyard by paying life and sacking stuff. This has affinity for artifacts. Well, it's still kind of expensive, but yeah. If you end up paying 2 mana for it, you're feeling pretty good. I mean, even if you're paying 3 or 4, you're probably feeling decent. Exhaust abilities by the permanence control, cost less to activate. And then you can give all your dudes trample and put counters on him. Okay, I mean, it's not bad, not great, not terrible. Could take Reef Roads just because it's like spell land. Spell lands are going to be good. This is okay. And Surveyor's not bad either. And Grimbauble is some removal. And there's Broadcast Rambler. These are uncommons, though. That's good to know. Man, that guy's pretty good, too. I'm thinking I'm actually going to take Reef Roads, even though I like Bauble. This is an uncommon. It's good land. It goes with the rare. I do think this rare is quite good. We'll see if we can end up playing it. I got beat up in the last draft by this card. I mean, this card is good because it's a common that starts your engines. That's a land, I should say, that starts your engines. Hour of Victory is good. You get a tutor effect out of it. This is uncommon. In green, we got Malt Tinder, which is not bad. Ramps fixes. Yard feeding is probably more for black. Another locks it on Surveyor. Or we could take a Bounce Off, which is 1 mana removal is not bad. For some reason, I'm feeling this Raceway. Maybe it's a bit early. But Loot Effect is good and on a land. And Start Your Engines with a land is also pretty good. Leaves me a little more open, I guess. Cloudspire Captain. Mounts and Vehicles, so it's a Lord effect for mounts and vehicles. Already good. This would be better for green-white. Saddles and mounts, okay. Haunted Hellride. Well, I did get beat up by this card before. This card is really good. And you get to untap it, too. This is a great uncommon. I really like that card a lot. Otherwise, Midnight Mangler. During turns other than yours, this vehicle is an artifact creature. All right. I mean, that's okay. It's a 3/3 on your opponent's turns. Omnivore, just a 2 mana 3/2. So they are back to printing vanilla creatures, which I feel like I haven't seen in a long time. 2 mana 3/2 is really not bad. But I think it's early enough where we can just take really strong cards. I'm going to take this Hellride. I was really impressed with this card. Yes, it's got black. I just really think it's a great card. Okay, so Siphon Fuel with some removal. Bounce off, chance again. Could take the Foul Roads if I thought I could go deeper black. There's another chance to get a Surveyor. I actually like Ether Jacket. I think this is a good card. And it still leaves us kind of open, which makes me feel good about it. But yeah, Flyer. So it's good for start your engines. It's got Vigilance. It kills things. It's good. It actually, the Vigilance is relevant with crewing because defensively you can still crew. I'm going to take this card. I think this is good. I mean, granted, yes, 3 mana, 1 toughness, not great, but I like it. We'll find out if I'm completely wrong. Soak and Strength. Yeah, combat trick that's permanent effect. That's good. Good card. Hull Drifter. So I've been playing against this, and I think this card's actually pretty good. It is 5 mana draw. It doesn't look like it's good, but somehow it's good. I think that's the weird part about Hull Drifter. This lets you loot in a Cruise for 1. That's good too, but then I guess we would have to go deeper into... I mean, we're seeing some late white uncommons. That could be a sign for white. Maybe blue-white skies. So we can take Bounce off. This Lagak is certainly a fine card. It's got Death Touch. I'm not convinced we're green yet. I could just take the Bounce off now. I feel like pretty high chance we're blue. If we're not blue, we're in trouble at this point. But this seems fine to me. 1 mana Bounce can't be bad. If we end up getting some card advantage, it'll be good. So Gearseeker Serpent, I assume it's at its best in artifact colors, which are... I think this archetype is blue-white. So if we do continue to wheel some white cards, this could be quite good. Right now we basically have 3 artifacts. Hey, that's not bad. Hey, if you're paying a low cost for this, you should be feeling pretty good. And there's still some late white cards. You know, I think the interface ace is okay. I'm going to take the fatty, though. So we could take the Surveyor now. Country Roads could take it. If I end up white, I'll be happy to have Country Roads, but maybe we just take the Surveyor. I mean, the fact that it's got flying is actually very relevant with Start Your Engine, so let's take it. Okay, Rambler. I kind of like that card. You know, seeing late affinity stuff, maybe we're just go the affinity route. I mean, we managed to carve our way into blue pretty effectively. I think the Rambler is actually a pretty good card. It makes 2 artifacts. I'm going to take the Voyage Home, though. Let's get the affinity going. All right, so now we'll take Air Response Unit, even though Collision Course is some removal. Yeah, we probably need the removal. Destroy target artifact is pretty hard removal in this format. All right, Midnight Mangler versus Mechanic. I think I'm actually going to take the Mangler because it's defensively better, and it's an artifact for our affinity plan, if we want to make this affinity work. Whoa, 7 mana, 7/7 flying, first strike, lifelink. You can cycle it. When you cycle it, create pilots. Okay, well, that's insane. So you get a pilot with this. Oh, yeah. And you buff something. That's good. I think we're off green. I think we've safely gone into blue-white, which is fine. So we can take this, another artifact. If we wheel it, that would be good. I think we just got to take this crazy expensive mythic. And I think we'll wheel something decent here. Okay. When in doubt, take terribly expensive cards. So far, I haven't found this format to be ridiculously fast, so that's good. Start your engines. You can draw a card. Just 2 mana tap, draw. That's really good. Whenever you draw a card, each opponent mills to? That's a sweet card. Granted, a little clunky, but that's a good card. Well, I'd like the Rides In, too, to get more removal. But I'm going to take this Ether Siphon. I don't think this is a bad card. 2 mana draw is pretty slick. And it's an artifact, too, right? Great. Okay. Enters X +1/+1 counters on it. Put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. When this creature dies, draw a card. Oh, that's a good card. It's an artifact. I mean, even if you're paying 2 mana for a 1/1 that when it dies you draw, that's not bad. And then late game it does stuff. We wheeled Voyage Home last time, so we might be able to do that again. I mean, we're seeing all the affinity stuff I want here. But I'm going to take this rare. It's a good card. Roadside Blowout. Turn target creature. That's a good card. So you get to bounce. It is a sorcery, but you get to draw. Kind of a counter spell there. Maybe get the Scouter back, but we'll take the Blowout. It's an uncommon for a reason. All right, what's Imitator do? 2 mana, 1/3, start your engines, sack it, copy target spell you control. That's cool. Spell works for permanents too, so that's pretty good. Optimizer, yeah, this makes artifacts cheaper. That's pretty good too, because we are 6 artifacts so far. Trip Up, not bad. Instant Speed as well. Night Market, not bad. We could see taking another Collision Course though, just because it's kill spell, and I think it's a pretty good kill spell. I'm going to take the Collision Course. I'm just going to assume that removal is good, and we should probably have a good amount of it. This has Flying, and then it's got Exhaust. That's not a bad card. Interface Ace, also good. Can block. Doesn't have Flying, though. I think the Engineer is probably better because it has Flying. Yeah, I like that. Although this is an artifact. Oh, yeah. That's true. That's a decent argument for the Interface Ace, actually. I think I'm still going to go with the Flyer. Okay, Country Roads is kind of a free card for the deck, so I think we'll just slam that. Ticket Tortoise seems okay. It's also an artifact. Mustang and Scouter, both decent. Interference probably playable. Easy Country Roads, though, I think. Okay, Rambler. I still like this card. 2 artifacts in 1 is going to be good for us. This card's good, too. I like this Buccaneer. Yeah, that is a good card. Another Ether Siphon. Well, maybe I don't want to get gunked up with those. I mean, the fact that I have Ether Siphon and I've got Verbose Host probably means I'm okay. I don't need to draw my whole deck out here. Okay, we could take Aether Jacket versus Glitch Ghost Surveyor. I think it's the jacket because we're wanting to be an affinity deck. Wow, that's a good card. 3-mana instant creature or planeswalker, draw a card, discard. That's nice. Surveyor's got Flying too, and has the max speed value, but I think I prefer Aether Jacket because it can blow up artifacts, which I still think is relevant. All right. Otherwise, I could take Trip Up over another Aether Jacket. We only have 7 creatures. All right, maybe I should take the maybe I should take the jacket. All right, we got Serpent back. I'll take that over Howler's Heavy, which is not a bad card, but Serpent I think makes more sense if we can end up with enough cheap artifacts. I'll just cut blue here. I doubt we're going to have the space for that. Trip Up we may. Apparently I need a bunch of creatures. Gonti. Well, this card's good, but we're obviously... Oh, wow, Lightning Strike's in this format too? I didn't even realize that. Jeez. Might have to take this Ticket Tortoise. Otherwise I could take Scrap Compactor. It's removal that's cheap artifact for the board. But Tortoise seems pretty good. Decent blocker on the ground that also potentially makes it... Because we have a decent amount of flyers, right? And these can be unblockable. I could see Tortoise being okay here. There's also Assailant, but... Like I said, I want to do the affinity plan. A lot of card draw in this deck. All right, another chance to take the Slick Imitator. There's also Trip Up. Walking Sarcophagus. Not bad. But, yeah, we probably just go ahead and take the Imitator. Another Ovaya. I don't think we're doing that. This card's great. Jeez. Yeah, that's amazing value. Uncommon. But I'm going to take the Imitator. So I can take Buccaneer now, which is just a good card, I feel like. Otherwise, there's Assailant, which flies. But this effect is just good. 3/4 Vigilance with a loot effect attached to it is nice. A lot of 3-drops though, don't we? Yeah, we do. 3, 4, 5, 6. I think 7's okay. We don't have that many 4-drops, but I think the Buccaneer's probably better than the Assailant. Just might be wrong. We'll find out. Refueler. Whenever you activate an exhaustibility, draw, and then becomes an artifact creature. That's a cool card. It's nice and cheap too. Otherwise, bounce off and compactor, another chance to get that. And this ramps, which honestly double ramps towards affinity, which is good, but I'm going to take the refueler. So roadside assistant, still have a chance to take this. Makes the pilot, which is not bad. So it's like a creature, but I'm going to take probably Ride's End. Granted, we're still creature light, but Ride's End is just going to be good removal for us, I think. All right, I can take the Scouter, can take the Sloth. I guess, you know, we have two... You can kind of count these lands as creatures too, especially given that we've got so many vehicles. But I'd probably take Flood the Engine. Get more removal. We'll see how good removal is in this format. If I get enough card advantage, it'll be okay that we're light on removal. Flying Vigilance, whenever one or more creatures attack you. Wow. That's insanely good. Nesting Bot is so good for us too. This card seems so strong though. It is a 4-mana 2/2, but man, 1-mana artifact's so important for us too. This card just seems too good to pass. All dudes just attack you are weaker. That's so good. I could take the Ace. We may actually need the Ace over a 3rd collision course just because we're creature light. And this can crew basically everything. And then it can also block. We probably need it. And it's an artifact. I think it's just valuable enough for us to take it. So we already... Lightning Strike pick 9. Wow, I think red's open. My goodness. I guess we'll take an Assailant now. Just rando flyer. Collision course, trip up. I'll take the collision course. I mean, this card is good. It's going to be good. Wreck Remover. This card is not bad. I kind of like having one of these over a 2nd Assailant just because I think the value of that can be good. And another bounce off or light wheel enhancements. I don't think we need the enhancements. I'll just take a bounce off. I don't know if we need the bounce off either, but this card's probably fine. I mean, it gives lifelink, makes a pilot. It's an uncommon, maybe for a reason. Okay, interesting little deck there. See what we want to do. I wanted to get a bunch of affinity stuff. Actually, we've got an okay looking deck here. A lot of card draw actually. And we have some cuts to make. And we can at least cut 1 creature, so that's good. Weakest creature, this is a cycler. Probably should cut a non-artifact creature if anything, but we prefer to not cut flyers or... well, putting myself in a tough spot here. Let's see what I'm considering for cuts, huh? Probably, maybe the Assailant. Could see cutting that. Could see cutting the Remover too. But we're playing best of 1. Gaining life, I mean, that's not bad. It enters and does that. It's not bad. There's certainly decks where this is going to be good. This is like kind of like a 2-drop in here. Walker's definitely not a 1-drop. So we have a lot of cuts to make. And I'm just going to set aside all my removal to take a closer look at what stays and what goes. And we may have to cut a vehicle or 2 as well. We'll see about that. I mean, this is kind of like a creature, so if I really wanted to, I just don't think we need this. I mean, it's nice to have the pilots, but I just don't love this card. Maybe it's better than I'm thinking. I mean, you can enchant a vehicle with it. That is nice. This is removal. I kind of want to play the Ether Siphon. I think it's good. And then trip up. Definitely don't want to cut that. Strategist. I like the Rambler. I think this card's actually not bad. Like I said, 2 creatures in 1 is actually kind of legit. And then I don't want to cut my affinity stuff, and obviously we're not cutting the flagship because this card's awesome. Just randomly makes a bunch of pilots if you cycle it for 1 billion mana. But if you have 1 billion mana, wouldn't you want to just play it? 7 mana, on the other hand, not so easy to get to. What is it crew at? Crew's at 3. I mean, flying First Strike Lifelink is pretty dang strong. So these all are removal. Could see maybe cutting the Ticket Tortoise. It is an artifact, and it crews. That's true. Potentially ramps. Could cut the Wreck Remover, but it's also got cycling. It's an artifact, though. Maybe the Assailant can go. I just like that it's got flying, but I probably keep the... When in doubt, I think keep the Flyer. I mean, there's just certain matchups where this is going to be good. And the fact that it has cycling is kind of relevant, but I think we can probably cut it. Honestly, we could probably cut the Assailant, too. We don't need to run both. And I want to have a lot of removal in here. It is a Flyer, but I could see us cutting it. If I want to run Roadside Assistance, which I'm not sure I do. Definitely keeping the Refueler. Could see maybe cutting the Mangler. It's just not bad artifact is the thing. Doesn't have Starter Engines, right? No. Yeah, we could probably cut the Mangler. Wow. We have to make 7 more cuts. We probably shouldn't cut any more creatures. Although, with the Country Roads and the Reef Roads, we technically have some more. But Bounce Off versus keeping the Collision Courses, even with a relatively low creature count, I think, just because it blows up artifacts for 2. And can also kill creatures. And it counts your vehicles, too. Yeah, that's totally worth it. Because with vehicles, we have just a boatload in here. 4 vehicles, so none of those are creatures. So really, we have a ton. So I could see maybe cutting a Bounce Off at least. Definitely not cutting the Blowout. Could cut both Bounce Offs, I guess. I don't want to, but that still leaves us with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 decent removal. So maybe we cut the Roadside Assistance. I do kind of like it, but it just feels like we could probably cut it. I don't want to cut the Ether Siphon. If I was going to cut another 2-drop, I don't want to cut this Refueler. Because it basically you pay 4 and it becomes a 5/5 that draws you a card. It's really nice, and it permanently becomes an artifact creature too. That's good. I'm going to cut that. Really don't want to cut a creature. Puts me in a tough spot, though. I could see maybe cutting the Rambler. I don't want to, but I think there's maybe a fair argument for it. Even though it does count towards 2 artifacts. Jeez. This is challenging. Trying to balance all your vehicles is tough business. All right, maybe we'll cut the Rambler even though I like it. Obviously not cutting any of these. I mean, we can technically go a little lower in creatures, and the only reason why is because I've got like decent card draw stuff. Like the Verbose Host plus Ether Siphon. You can legitimately mill your opponent out with that too, which is not bad. And then it's weird that this has Vigilance. So it can still crew defensively too. It's nice. I mean, if you exhaust it too, it's really good. Could cut Hull Drifter because I have Voyage Home plus Ether Siphon plus Verbose Host. Yeah. I think that's probably fair. Unless I like... I mean, the question is, do I like the Hull Drifter more than Voyage Home? I don't think so, because we have a pretty good artifact count. Yeah, 9. Yeah, it's a tough one. Creature count's now at 14. I could maybe go to 13. I really don't want to cut any of these. If I were to cut one, it's probably Trip Up. Yeah, alright. And then I should cut one more. And maybe it's a creature, though. At a bit of a loss of what to do. Kind of like the Imitator, although the best thing to copy is what, like Gear Seeker Serpent, maybe, for a lower cost. Am I even going to be able to get max speed? I mean, we have a fair amount of evasion. I guess the Keen Buccaneer is something I could consider cutting. I really don't want to, but it's not an artifact. It doesn't fly. It doesn't have Start Your Engines. It's just kind of, in a vacuum, a decent card. All right, let's cut the Buccaneer. So really, we're at 13 creatures, but I'm kind of counting our lands as creatures too. I don't know if that's appropriate or not in this instance, but it's what I'm doing. And actually, making a treasure token, this is really good with affinity too, because it counts as 2 if you don't sack the treasure. It just is like a static, cost reduction for Serpent. That's kind of nice. All right, so more blue than white, but we have triple white, so I guess we are probably doing our mana base like this, 8-8 split. This was a tough deck to build. Ended up getting some decent removal though, I think. And yeah, I mean, I think it's not bad, because Aetherdrift gets removal too, so a lot of removal actually, a lot of artifact removal. Hopefully we play against some artifact heavy decks where we can take advantage of that. Otherwise, Collision Course against big fat green creatures is going to be tough. All right. Well, this is it. We'll run it like this. We'll see you round 1. We're on the play. This is a bit of a... This hand is a bit worrisome. Collision Course, I guess, still technically does something without creatures. 2 white mana, no blue. I think we're actually going to keep it. This is a tough one, though. I think it's because... Man... I mean, like, having double... It's kind of a tough choice to keep this hand, but... I think I'm actually going to play this because it makes this cheaper and it's just fine to have here, basically. Also makes Collision Course better. Not bad. All right. Two on top. All right. So we missed our land drop. Guess I could blow up the Scouter if I wanted. I think I'm just going to make use of my mana. I don't love this, but that's where we're at. That's a good one. Hey, we found our blue mana. I'm going to blow that up. I don't want them getting value out of that. That thing's really good. Not the best use of mana, particularly when we're mana starved, but I just don't want to deal with... Yeah, they would have just gotten a dude there, so that's fine. Best use of mana, Ether Jacket, so we'll do that. We'll offer the trade here. I just want to keep my jackets for some reason. I'll take it. Guess our hope is to win with Gear Seeker Serpents. Oh yeah, that card is super good. I'm gonna block here so I can draw. It's pretty good with max speed. It's a good one. All right. So, flood the engine on the center just. Basically, we're hoping to get them to the point where we can kill them with a Gear Seeker Serpent. It's going to be tricky. See, 4, 6, 9. Well, I'm not winning the race anymore, so I guess we'll trade there. It's a good one. When it enters, turn a creature, vehicle, and opponent controls to its owner hand. If that opponent's speed is greater than each other player's speed, reduce that opponent's speed by 1. This effect can't reduce it less than 1. Alright, so we'll do this. We probably don't have time for that, so let's just do this for the flyer, although this can block the 3/4. So let's get the flyer. They're gonna have max speed next turn. And get him for 2. Can't even pay the exhaust cost on that. So, look here and block there and take 5. Alright, on to the next one. Okay, yeah, this looks good. Keep it. Probably still start with the engineer, I'm guessing, just because it's got flying. And the interface ace can't really, attack. Oh, well. So long, serpent. All right. So that's fine. What's this one do? Okay. It's a good draw. We'll block the jockey if they attack. All right. It didn't attack with a rat. It's kind of weird. Well, just kill this. So max speed. Okay. Just block here. It does up their speed, but that's not the end of the world. Ooh, man. We are real close to this flagship. Hopefully I don't have to crew that, because that will certainly win us this game. Currently don't have any exhaust. I think we'll just flood on the... I mean, this is better out of the graveyard, but that's a ways away. I think just in case they draw exhaust, I'm gonna just do that one. Hopefully they don't make us discard. That would be harsh. All right. Oops. I always forget to do my start your engines first. Oh, that's a good draw. All right, see you for the next one. Okay, it's a keep. It's certainly not the best hand I've ever seen, but good enough. All right, well, I like starting with that more. That's nice. I can pay 1 mana to blow that out. Doesn't really matter. I still can block it. Interface ace, also not bad. So can block this. So I think we're just going to play the ace and pass. I'm not in a huge rush here. And I can block the 3-4, or the 3-2 rather. Next turn I can do a walker's 2-2, so that's pretty good. Ooh, that's a good one. May have to, not quite sure why they're attacking, but whatever. Especially when they're tapped out. So probably just, I guess because they untap was their rationale. All right, so I can do blowout on the Beast Rider, and I think we will. So we can draw here, buy some more time. Yeah. No rush. Hmm. Alright. So this turn we probably just exhaust that. So we'll just leave up all of our mana. And essentially we're building towards this flagship and hoping to win off of that with interface. Force them to use maybe some removal in the meantime. Sure. They're looking at engineer, so I don't know why they're crewing. They just want to keep doing it, huh? I mean, they have lifelink, so I guess that makes sense. Okay. So now we're at 6 mana, so we can do the 3/3 Walker at least. The next turn we can do the flagship. So maybe this will draw some removal. That would be good. Mm-hmm. Hopefully I don't have any removal, and our flagship does what it needs to do here. Siphon's pretty sweet. Well, if they got removal for flagship, I guess we're in pretty big trouble. If they don't, they're definitely in big trouble. Okay. Mm-hmm. Really? All right. Well, we can draw cards off our walker, so let's just pick them apart here. I think we'll kill Glider. This can block this. Let's see. The 3/3 dilemma. I mean, I'm turning off their lifelinker. Their Beast Rider is still kind of a big deal, but I feel like the Flyer is a bigger deal. I mean, this is a pretty big deal. Yeah, let's take this out. And then this can prevent more damage here. And then this can trade with that. Okay. I have no idea why they're making this attack. That's nice. Alright. So collision course as well. Currently can't. I mean, yeah. I don't know what they were thinking. They probably didn't realize. I don't know. It had first. I don't know what they were thinking, but all right. We'll see for the next one. All right, we got a keep here. Get to even start our engines right away, but don't get to do anything with them until turn 3. So maybe we keep it a surprise. Doesn't really change anything. Ace into jacket. Well, ace sure pairs well against that. This is a common. For some reason I thought it was an uncommon, but yeah, that's fine. I'll trade a combat trick or removal or whatever. Sure. All right. Oh, refueler, huh? Nice. Okay. Well, we'll play jacket to trade with the omnivore. That's pretty good. All right. So if we play the refueler, I see. I was gonna say if we play the refueler, we can do an untapped country roads, but this turn I think the play is just raceway plus ether jacket, and then next turn we can do refueler plus an untapped country roads, and that's pretty good. We're gonna take 4 here. That's gonna be a tough one to beat. Not an artifact either. Yeah. That one's gonna be pretty tricky. Guess we deal 2 to the pilot to start it off just to prevent some damage. We're still losing half our life, but I kind of got nothing better to do is the issue. Oh, and I can crew the refueler, so that's fine to block the mole. So yeah, it does actually change the clock. But I don't know how I'm gonna beat the speed demon. It's got reach too. I guess we have to do the serpent here. Wish this was an instant. I guess I wouldn't have the mana anyway. Forget what they gained life from. Oh, it's this dude. Yeah, it's really nice. So I can play this. I mean, there's just no way to win this now. There's no possible way to beat the speed demon. All right. I mean, I guess I can activate this. I'll think it keeps us alive though. No, because the speed demon's got trample and everything too. All right, on to the next one. All right, yeah, that's a keep. I mean, I guess I could roadside blowout. Yeah, I mean, it only sets them back if they have a 2-drop. Well, I've got roadside Zen though. Yeah, let's just slow it down. We got a lot of removal in here. They very well could just make the same play again, but I think that's fine. We don't have the double blue for strategist. Sure. Guess I'd rather that die than something else. We'll do the country roads tapped, and I can still do rides end, I think. But I could kill this and then they don't even get the exhaust effect. Yeah, sure. I would rather them not have the exhaust effect, so that's fine. And we have the 3 white now for Valor's Flagship, which is nice. Hull Drifter's good. Got an Imitator. I'm just gonna do strategist here. Could have copied it. Well, if I had max speed, that's not happening. Okay. I'm not gonna be able to crew this flagship. I could with country roads. Yeah, that's true. All right, refueler, plus I can exhaust it. Okay, it's pretty cool. That works. And draw. Nice. Man, I could cycle, make 4 pilots, but I don't know why I'd want to do that. Okay. It's good. It's nice. So I can do flagship now. Oh, it's only a 4/4. That's right. So I can bash for 4 and play the flagship. Otherwise, I could just play the flagship. I'd probably do that. Let's just play flagship and leave refueler back defensively here. All right. All right. Well, I do have bounce effects, but probably gonna have to flood the engine there. Which is fine. I can do that. Let's why don't we voyage home first? Actually, probably have to flood the engine first, huh? So it's 8 mana. So I don't have enough to do both. But when we get a bounce, we can bounce our flagship, so that's pretty good. I don't know if I want to make a pilot yet here. Oh, card seems really good. So Tortoise, they have 7, so do we. No, we have more than that. So we can do the Tortoise, and then I can pay 6 for Voyage Home, so I'll probably do that. That helps. So we can play Reef Roads, and the next turn we can do Siphon. And at least start drawing off of that. Oh, it seems extremely strong. Alright, so we have collision course. So this is not a vehicle, it's just an artifact. So can blow up Guardian at least. Maybe do Siphon first to draw. Not quite good enough. Yeah, I can blow up the Guardian. I don't really want to do blank Walker there. Can only get those as a sorcery, so maybe I needed to sack, but I don't actually know if that matters. I need to find some answers, though. I don't really have the time to wait. Guess I could have just made it a 4/4. Maybe that would have made more sense. All right, well, ended up going 2-3. Pretty rocky. I guess I could have drawn a card there, but we would have to be able to single-handedly deal with Skyray plus Serpent plus Hull plus Oblivion. This plus this is lethal, so we are at 3 life. So we need to be able to deal with this, and deal with this. I don't think that with 1 extra card we could do that, but I might as well have looked, I guess. Tough one. Tough draft. Wow. I didn't think our deck was that bad, but we got pretty thoroughly trounced there. All right, let's do some pack one, pick ones. All right, plow through. Yeah, blow up a vehicle for 1 or fight. Not bad. Volter. Yeah, I feel like plow through is probably kind of the easy pick here. Obviously, I feel like this draft showed me I don't understand this format yet, so that's a good thing. A lot of learning to do. This is probably going to be the pick. This card is 6 mana, 7/7 Vigilance Menace. Other creatures you control, and it's, wow, yeah, that's ridiculous. That's an unbelievably strong card, so that's an easy pick. Yeah, tough format. Tough format. I knew after draft 2 it was a tough format, but we got trounced really, really badly there, so a lot to learn. All right, we'll see you for the next one.